name is Dan, and I'm Zach's best friend. It's appropriate that I start this speech since I've known Zach the longest of the group, and he likes me best. It's an obvious choice since I've known Zach since we began kindergarten at Leo Beck as two pudgy 5-year-old kids. I have to be honest when I confess something to everybody today. Growing up, I thought Zach was the coolest kid in school. Not only was he able to burp the entire alphabet in one breath, but he was also a natural at losing every single piece of clothing he ever owned. Finally, my big break came in the 6th grade. My family moved to Richmond Hill, right across the street from the Titles. The opportunity was too great, so I quickly endeared myself to Zach and his family. Before long, I was a fixture at the Title family dinner table, even when Zach wasn't there, and especially when it was taco night. I guess now's a good time to thank Karen and Jay for all those fantastic dinners. Thank you, Karen and Jay, wherever you are. Thank you, Jay. But the funny thing is my plan started to work. As our friendship got closer, Zach was having an influence on me. We were skipping school together, getting suspended together, and we even shared our first cigarette together in a nearby ravine. True story.
That's PG-13 level.
But guys, I was definitely getting cooler. Zach taught me how to surf the internet and pick up babes in chat rooms.
Catfish.
We even had a band and wrote a song about awkward things that happen to teenage boys in the morning. All kidding aside, moving to Richmond Hill was the best things that ever happened to me. It was the catalyst that turned Zach into my best and most mischievous middle school friend. From that point on, we couldn't get rid of each other. We ended up going to the same camp, high school, university, and it didn't even stop there. We both made Aliyah, becoming citizens of Israel, and even chose 2 fantastic women of Hungarian descent as our significant others. It's a little more than a coincidence, right? I have to confess that I don't chalk this up to coincidence, not even for a second. With me growing up as an only child, and you growing up with 2 sisters, I really do believe that we fulfilled the role of brother to one another. Maybe that's why we walked such a similar path and found it so hard to separate all these years. I can honestly say that no friend has had a greater influence on me than you, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy to be here with you today to celebrate as a brother, and although I now live in Israel, I would not have missed it for the world. Mazel tov.
Thanks, Dan. It's a tough act to follow. I can do my best. So bear with me. My name's Matt, and I am Zach's best friend. In the next minute or so, I'll share a few thoughts about Zach's high school years at Thornhill Secondary TSS.
Represent.
Where to start? First time I met Zach, I thought to myself, man, this guy talks a lot. Turns out the only time he wasn't talking was when he was sleeping beside me in biology class. Luckily for Zach, who's also a shrewd negotiator, he managed to cut a deal with the teacher for a B+ under the condition that he never show his face in the science wing ever again. Zach was back the next year.
Sure story.
It wasn't long before Zach became an integral part of the group we sang for you today, thanks to his knowledge of Gandalf, Dragon's Lance, Perseus, and Optimus Prime. You know, things that don't actually exist in real life. Stayed best friends throughout high school, except for 1 year when he ditched us for a couple of guys named Ashcan, Rizzo, and Fat Joe, a.k.a. Thornhill's version of the Wu-Tang Clan. But seriously, Zach was the kind of guy you always wanted to be around in high school. He was extremely social, life of the party, and most important, always scheming up great ways to meet girls. I remember sitting in my basement learning the cheesiest Counting Crows songs imaginable with Zach on vocals, me on guitar. Zach saying things like, "Moses, trust me, the girls are going to love us." We certainly impressed each other, but that's about all the action. But looking back on those years, I often think to myself, Zach lived high school the way it was meant to be lived. Whether he was rapping Ice Ice Baby in front of the entire school, playing ridiculously high-stakes poker for money that none of us had, he was always having a great time. I know for a fact that high school wouldn't have been half as fun for any of us standing up here without him, so thanks for that, Ted. And just one closing thought before I pass the torch. I think it's the cat's pajamas. That you've chosen education as your life's work. Can't think of a better place for you to...
Like Tolman write that?
I can't think of a better place for you to apply your many talents, and I have no doubt you'll make high school as much fun for your students as you did for all of us. Mazel tov to the beautiful couple, his wonderful wedding.
Thanks, Matt. Well, my name is Bear, and disregard what you heard from the previous two guys, because I am Zach's best friend. Zach and I were just finishing up our final years of high school. We decided it was time to get a little serious and get some real jobs. So we walked across the street to Rogers Video. Needless to say, we were an unstoppable combination. Zach was the man to ask if you needed a great Saturday night movie. I was the guy to ask if you need a great Saturday night snack. To this day, Zach still considers it his favorite job of all time.
100% true.
And the fact that we got to work together made it that much better.
Amazing.
But even free movies and popcorn couldn't keep our early adulthood minds focused for too long. So I accompanied Zach to his parents' house in Richmond Hill, watched him climb up the steps to his front door, open it, and declare, "Mom, Dad, I'm moving in with Bear." You can only imagine the reaction on Jane and Karen's face. We moved into 181 Brunswick in April of 2006. They say spring is the summer of rebirth. Well, for me and Zach, it was a season of death. Never have we consumed so much chocolate, hot dogs, 10-cent chicken wings at the Brunswick House, cheese and chili nachos from 7-Eleven, Oreo cheesecake at 4 a.m. from Future Bakers, and of course whiskey. I go on and on about the different tales and stories regarding what happened in that house, but I don't have a lot of time for one. And for two, not a great idea with Zach's wife in the room. Being bachelors at the time and living on our own, we thought the opposite sex would be all over us. How could they not? We were two eligible, cute, borderline employed, and predominantly drunk young adults. And we were the perfect chick magnet duo. A fireman just on the verge of graduation, and one of McGill's hottest DJs returning from his hometown to Toronto. Shout out to DJ Casper. Plus, we had a snow cone maker.
Yeah, we did.
It was almost too easy, so we thought.
I thought that would be a killer.
There we were, preparing for our first common law night on the town, with our red paint in hand. Zach was sure the summer was going to be insane. Every weekend was going to be a party. We'll be bringing the ladies back to the party place after the party like we're R. Kelly. We'll have raspberry pina colada snow cone flavored freshly socked. And I was right there with him. That night, we turned on the TV to see the Argos score, when Zach asked a simple question, which would later define our summer. Hey, before we go out, you want to play a little PS2? Just like 5, maybe 10 minutes max. Just have the urge to cast some spells and some goblins before we go annihilate our living. I replied with, yeah, I go for a little goblin smashing. Turns out that little conversation turned the fireman and DJ summer dream team into two nerdy dweebs wondering the best way to beat the next area boss. If we could go back in time, I wouldn't have it any different. So Zach, may you forever be the mage to my warrior.
Oh, that's amazing.
Hello. My name is Jason, and I am Zach's best friend.
Oh my god.
Summer. From the bosom of Apollo she springs forth, but for a small respite from the harsh Canadian winters. It was during these months where Zach, son of Jay, and I, Tolman, son of Tolman, forged the bond which is for now and ever become known as Total. Like generations before us, Zach and I sought merriment at a mystical far-off place known as Jewish Summer Camp. There in the realm of Shalom on the banks of Muskoka, and later in the land of Sabra, tucked away in the Ozarks, Missouri, Zach and I did not seek quests where we would encounter krakens, megalodons, or minotaurs. We were men of simpler needs. Friday night song sessions, mama, pre-lunch cookies, and all the bug juice we could drink. And of course, the power to rule over hordes of children aged 8 to 13. It was almost too intoxicating. But there was one final reason we, like so many before us, threw off the shackles of the modern world for that of a simpler life, amongst the trees, the water, and shipped-in Israelis. Women. I mention this not out of crudeness or lewdness, but rather to note that it was during the one summer Zach and I spent apart, when he attended Camp Biloim, is where he found the fair maiden he entered into the holiest of unions we all bared witness to. It was not an easy road. She pursued and he withdrew, and he pursued and she withdrew. And it was not till years later at Clinton's, where Zachary Israel Nachman Friedman Title and Jessica Margot Sipos Kosis, I look forward to the day I meet little Nachman Friedman Title Sipos Kosis, set out on the path that led to this day. And now a note about the bride. Jessica Margot, it goes without saying that you are the most beautiful woman in the room or tent tonight. If you were an Instagram photo, I would hashtag this, hashtag beautiful, hashtag bride, hashtag beautiful bride, hashtag wedding, hashtag om nom 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 nom. As Zach's closest friends, we've seen the impact you've had on his life. Through you, Zach has not only found true love, but true happiness and a sense of self as a man. And add to all that, never again will he have to worry about losing his wallet.
It's accurate.
About it, but I appreciate it.
So friends, family, lovers, let us raise our glasses, filled with the sweet nectar of ambrosia, gingerly touch our tips to the bride and groom.
Oh, man.